focus on the generation that is coming up, because they are the only ones that can make the change tomorrow that we need. That's why the movement is future leaders. And that's the essence of Talk Safety with Frank, irrespective of your nationality. Be you a Cameroonian, a Nigerian, you're from Ghana. I'm a Cameroonian. My younger brother is a safety manager. But if I'm looking for someone to fit in a position and he's not competent, I'm not going to give him the position because he has me as a brother. Trust me, he knows me and he can tell you, I'm not going to give him. I'm going to give someone who deserves it, because I know that if I give him, the chances of people dying is high. And what would I do? I would train him to be able, and by the time that he's capable and I feel that he's confident for it, I'll give him. And I'm just using him as a point of contact, not only to him, but to each and every one of you. So whenever you go, especially when you have a close one, you're like, oh, I know Mr. Frank, so he just gave me this job because of emotions. Mr. Frank does not work this way. I can play with you from now to evening, but when I know that you're not competent, I'm sorry. I don't do that, because there's a clear line. There's a thin line between emotions and your work life. So when you're at work, you're at work. And when you're there to save people, you're there to save people because you know what you have to do. So basically, if you are coming to me, if you need anything from us, know that it's all about value and you must be consistent. So yes, I've given you guys the introduction. I hope it went deep within. So I'll be inviting Mr. Linjo to give us some words. So this is how we do the presentation. Linjo comes in, he talks, he hands over to me, I come in, and that's how we roll it. At the end, once we are done, then you guys can now ask your questions. However, the chat box is open for you to bring up your questions. Over to you, Linjo.
Thank you once again, Mr. Frank. And I think if we end the meeting here, we are going back with something already. Words from you are always enriching and so powerful. Thank you very much. Once again, everybody, you're welcome to the live, and to my seniors. I think, if I'm not making a mistake, I'm the junior here, and it's an honor for me. Thank you for humbling yourself to key into this session. And if you won't mind, kindly unmute your mic. That is, if there's no noise on your background, kindly unmute your mic and tell somebody, I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. Come on, I'm waiting for you. Do it. Call somebody's name. That's the rule.
Madam Akufo, I love you. Happy New Month.
Prince, you know what to do, right?
Oh, Mr. Alide. I love you.
Edboy, that's to you.
Mr. Linjo, I love you. Happy New Month.
Thank you very much. Prince, I love you.
Mr. Frank, I love you. Happy New Month, Mr. Frank.
Thank you.
I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, happy New Month to you. Oh,
I love you. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month,
to everybody. To everybody, I love you.
Mr.
Happy New Month to everybody. Mr. Linjo,
Janet, I love you. I'm sorry,
I love you too.
Janet, do you also include our friend?
Mr. Prince, you're not saying something.
No, I'm looking for the guy who's calling out Janet's name to say I love you.
I love you. I love you all, and you have nothing to do about it.
I love you, Mr. Prince. I love you so much. Happy New Month.
Fantastic.
All right, thank you guys. Let's come back to the real business. Thank you for that exercise. Prince, I don't know why you did not say anything, but it's fine. Let me not say, I'll not go deeper. It's okay. Let's have it privately. We are talking on beyond safety, building a culture of excellence. Beyond safety, building a culture of excellence. I understand that some of you have been in the field for a good number of years. Some of you are in the field for months. Some of us are still to get into the field properly. However, we all are pursuing excellence. And I want to begin by saying that the pursuit of excellence has nothing to do with perfection. Being excellent has nothing to do with perfection. It's not an act of perfection. It is a daily commitment to becoming a better person. It's a daily commitment to doing better. It is a daily commitment to creating something better and becoming another or the better version of yourself. So if you are pursuing, if your goal is to be perfect, then you are meeting the goal already. All right. Focus on becoming better every day. Focus on not remaining at the same level where you were yesterday. So in essence, what I'm saying is that your yesterday's achievement does not guarantee your today's success. All right, you achieved something yesterday, it doesn't automatically mean that you will achieve the same thing today. All right, you must put in the work if you want to keep achieving what you achieved yesterday. It's a continuous progress, it's a continuous work that we are putting in, and that's why we meet here every Wednesday, the future leader. That's why we connect every week, 2, 3 times a week, because we want to enrich ourselves to become better versions of ourselves. You don't build a culture of excellence by chance. All right, proper positioning is not based on random choices. I think yesterday I was in a live session on TikTok with Chris Safety and Ibrahim and other people, and somebody asked a question. I had my neighbor a long time ago, but I don't have a job. And he made mention of the fact that the people that have been advising him have been telling him, do this course, do this course. He has done lots of courses. And at the end of the day, he is not still having a job. So it's about proper positioning requires that you should be at the right place at the right time with the right people. All right. When you position yourself well, you will get the results that your life really that you desire. All right. It's about proper positioning. So living out the spirit of excellence, it does not and it will never happen by chance. You must put in the work if you want to get the results. Excellence is it's built when ordinary people choose extraordinary things. You know, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that simple, those four-letter word, extra. All right. If you want to move from ordinary to extraordinary, all you need to do is to put in the work that requires for you to get to that other side of the life that you're looking for. Extraordinary things are not done by people who have two heads. All right. If we've been inspired by our coach Frank, it's simply because he has refused to be comfortable where he is. It's simply because he has refused to the fact that he has achieved all of what he has achieved, he is still looking forward to achieving more because there is always more to do. And that implies that there is more to learn. All right. That is why the richest people we know, you still see them working every day. You see them putting the work. People like the richest man in Africa, Dangote, he is still going to work. He is still strategizing because he wants to get to the top. All right. He wants to become better and better every day. So I will say it again, building a culture of excellence in the field of health and safety, it does not happen by chance. And we must go beyond safety. All right. Safety, people are no longer looking for just people who will come and shout PPE, people who come and take do the checklist. No, I think we have gone beyond that. We have gone beyond that. The lives of people are in your hands as a safety officer, and for you to protect them, for you to give them the best, you must learn how to keep improving every day. You must keep feeling yourself to becoming a better person if you want to give them the best. Are we together? Don't be stingy with your emojis. They are free. Give them to me. You know, I have a newborn baby and we need a lot of ingredients in our food. So give them to me. People who are not married will not understand because you are still growing. Thank you very much for that. Your emojis is a sign that you are following and you are attentive to what is being passed across. So give us your attention. All right. The future of safety will not be defined by the rules you give daily. The future of safety will not be defined by what we write, all right, but it is defined by the lives that we influence. It is defined by the protection that we give the workers. It is defined by how we empower them through the choices we make every day. Okay, now in the UAE, people who are working already discovered that this is the peak of the heat. All right, there's too much heat out there. All right, how do you relate with your workers? How do you treat your workers? All right, how do you encourage them, knowing fully very well that they are going through a lot? How do you relate with them? So once again, before I hand the mic to my boss, I want you to understand this again. For you to become excellent in this field or even in life as a whole, it requires that you position yourself well. It requires that you be at the right place at the right time with the right people and doing the right thing. You know, it is possible for you to belong to a group like Talk Self to Frank. It is possible for you to belong in the group like the Future Leaders, and at the end of the day, you are not still experiencing growth. All right. The fact that you belong, it doesn't mean that growth or it doesn't mean that excellence will come to you automatically. You must put in the work. All right. If you don't need work with people, there are things you will be limited with. If you don't show up, you will be limited. Okay. So belonging is just one part of you becoming. You must put in the work in order to become what or who you want to become. So life does not happen just because you have certificates. In this generation, I don't even think that certificates pay that much. All right, certificates are important. Don't misquote me; they are important. But if you are depending only on the certificate, then there's a high probability that you will sit home for a long time doing nothing, having nothing to show forth. All right, life does not respond to wishes. Life does not respond to intentions. Life does not respond to desires. Life actually responds to deliberate actions. Life actually responds to intentionality. Let me drop the mic for now. Mr. Frank, over to you, sir.
Fantastic. That was a jaw-breaking session. Guys, if you were enjoying it, can we just give a thumbs up, a love emoji, or anything for Mr. Linjo? Fantastic. I'm happy to see that. Yes, stay with me. I hope that I will be able to beat up what Linjo has brought because I can see the fire in him. So if you can see my screen, just please let me know so that I can proceed accordingly. So yes, just continuing from where our brother ended. So yes, we are going to be covering the case for change. Why should we change in this generation? Let's look at less developed countries, the number of accidents that happen. You know, in developed countries, you can travel from maybe from France to Germany by bus, and it's very easy. The chances of you getting stuck or in traffic or in an accident is quite less as compared to where we come from Africa as a whole, right? Then we tend to ask ourselves, we need the government to make these changes. And now, if we are waiting for the government without us changing our mindset, without us changing the way we think, the way we behave, then how is this change possible? It means they need to destroy the whole war and then create new sets of human beings with different mindsets that would change the world. Because if the government changes and we don't change, then it's not going to work. So they say charity begins from home. So what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to make these changes. Why culture, not just systems? How do we prevent harms? You ask yourself, especially in the various workplaces that we have, if you are a lover of safety, in which everyone should be, I always say safety is the most sexy department because we take care of everybody, from the CEO right down to the workers. Now, ask yourself, why is culture important? You must not be in the construction field, in an oil and gas sector before you think about culture. You could be even in a coffee shop and then you think about culture because there they deal with people. So People need care. People need to be treated with respect. I don't think that if Samuel goes to work today and says good morning and his boss tells him, leave this place, Samuel is going to have a good day. So basically, we have to be proactive in the way we think. And also, we look at maturity models. That's number two. Where does culture sit and how can they climb? Now, ask yourself a question. In your various organizations, I want you to evaluate your organization based on what you understand by a health and safety culture. Where is your organization currently, and how do you think your company can climb? Take a pen and a paper, write down what you think. And if you feel that you don't have enough points, please go back to your notebooks, your Nebosh IG3. If you don't have the course booklet, please let me know. I will give you for free. Just read about health and safety culture. Trust me, if you come up with frugal points, points that are not going to cost your company a lot, they will definitely support you. They will support these points. And when they support these points, guess what happens? The company is going to grow in terms of a positive safety culture. So don't wait for it. You should evaluate it, know where your company stands, rate it on 10, and see what you can do to bring these changes. Now, when we talk about the three cultural pillars, what are the fundamentals that makes up a very good culture? We look at leadership. Now, there's a difference between saying that this is my manager and this is my leader. Now, a leader thinks like you. A leader feels your pain, and a leader tries to come up with where we talk about flexible control measures or let's say actions that can actually help you. Let's take for example, you're working in a company where you made a mistake and it cost the company $5,000. I know that everyone is going to panic. But when you go to work and your manager says, see, you made a mistake, I understand. This has cost the company a lot. However, you didn't do it deliberately. So in that case, I'm going to stand for you. Your leader goes ahead and say, yes, this mistake was from my team. We made a mistake. He did not say, in my team, Daniel made a mistake. So Daniel should take the fall. He's like, my team made a mistake and we have accepted and we are accountable for the errors that we made. Moving forward, we are going to learn and we are not going to do it again. So he has given you that feedback and he used we instead of I. And what I want you all to know here is that when you work in a company, especially in a team, avoid using I. Always use we. Even if you are a project leader, always use we. Because when you use I, it means that you try as much as possible to put yourself out there. What happened? What happened to our company? Or what happened to your department? The permit to work was not issued. Who was on morning shift? I'm so sorry. That's a gap from our department. We are going to fix that. No, sir. I'm in night shift. I'm not in morning shift. Now, you guys should tell me the difference. Let's say Mrs. Akufo comes here and she says that I've been waiting for this permit to work. And now there have been nobody from the safety department to sign this permit. Frank, I've just seen you now. I've been calling your team and nobody picks up. Who is responsible for this and who is in morning shift? Frank comes with a big plate of food. You see my food? I'm just going to keep it in the fridge. I'm night shift. I'm not morning shift. Now, another safety guy, let's say the same Frank uses another approach. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a major gap from our side. We are going to look at it internally and fix this issue. However, where is the permit? Let me support you as soon as possible. Don't worry, I'll get back to you. Now, with these two approach, what do you think? You might say that, yes, you have saved yourself for the very first example, right? Please feel free to put your answers in the comment section. You have saved yourself, but what about your team? So you're pushing your team under the box, under the bus. And when you do that, what happens? Your teammate that has come in, he will take the fall. But guess what? As you keep working in that company, you are also liable to make mistakes. And the day that you make a mistake, it might be a bigger mistake that could lead to your termination. But because you stood for your friend or your teammate will say, you know what? Your teammate will say, you know what, Prince, you stood for us. You know, we are going to die with you on this. But when you think that you can figure yourself out, then it's very detrimental. You might win that battle, but you're not going to win the war. So always know that what goes around comes around. Now look at psychological safety. You can sit with a team member, you can sit with workers. Now, how do you make them feel comfortable? Mr. Linjo can come to work looking all good, fresh, clean, but psychologically, do you think Mr. Linjo is fine? Maybe he's working for you, you promise him, maybe Samuel is the owner of the company. Linjo, I'm going to make you a visa. Linjo, I'm going to do this for you. Linjo has worked for 28 days. He has 3 days left on his visa. Mr. Samuel, I've been working very hard. What about my visa? Oh, Linjo, just go. I'm busy. I have a call. But now you forget to know that every worker is the pillar of every business. The moment you start making one worker feel bad, that worker talks to the next worker. Now, two workers talk to the third, fourth, fifth, and one day your company falls. You can have the money, you can have the technical knowledge, but without the pillars of that business, the business sinks. So it's very important when we talk about psychological safety. It plays a lot on how you care about workers, on how you treat workers, on how workers think, on how you develop them to be proactive when they see a situation. How do they react? If you're in a company where, let's take for example, we had the issues in the Middle East, the attacks. So many companies use that advantage to cut down salaries, to terminate some workers, to treat workers badly, because if you escalate the companies, they will say, oh, there is no profit, things are not working well. But guess what? When you start treating these workers like this, now everything is back to normal. Those workers will feel bad. Yes. But do you think you're winning the case? No, because you're pushing them to study. You're pushing them to look for something better out there. Now, out of 10 workers that you had, those 10 workers could be your best workers. Guess what? If 6 of them resign, you need to make new visas. You need to shortlist new workers. It means that's a lot of time that you're wasting. Now, there is the probability that you might shortlist someone that is good at defending the CV, but he messes up at work is a 50%. So you might invest money in training, but the new worker you get will not perform like the worker that left that business. So there are a lot of things that we need to think. And how do you engage your workers? Even us as safety professionals. There are some companies that safety professionals are being looked as gods. So when you come in the morning, do you greet your workers? Do you spend time with them? Do you take your plate of food to even go sit by them, to eat with them? Even if they sit on the floor, do you also sit at least once in a year with them just to eat, put music? You guys have time. Managers on this call, do you take your time to drive to the labor accommodations, just not for an inspection? Just tell them you came to visit them. Let them come. You have a briefing with them for 5, 10 minutes. Tell them, put music and let you all dance for like 5, 10 minutes and you leave. If you do that, whenever you speak to any worker, they will respect you because they know that you love them. It's coming from a place of love. You're correcting them for the right reason. But when you're always like a dog, whenever you're present, they will respect you. But the moment you turn your back, they will turn their ways. So we shouldn't do face safety like you have your screenshots that you see, but we should target the heart, because when you correct the heart, they will be there for you always. And if they are there for you as the manager, it's easy for them to be there for your team because it starts from the top right down to the workers. Now we have BBS and HOP. A lot of people will ask. Now, BBS is just based safety, and HOP is just the human organizational performance. Sometimes we say, oh, behavioral based safety, is it very important? It's very, very important. There are people that will pretend and do safety just because you're there, like what I was saying. There are people that are inbuilt in them. No matter how you maltreat them, they know the importance of what they are doing. So they are not going to give up their values. That's what we talk about, values. So another thing, I'll use this advantage to tell you, whenever you apply for any company, when you go to their website, look for the values of that company. When you see companies that don't have values, if they cannot really highlight this word values, or this is what we really need in this company, then know that that company is not really one of the giants out there, because very big companies have what we talk about, values. And when you look at those values, you see something like competence, you see something like respect, you see something like ambition, because a company does not want to hire someone who is not ambitious. And besides, if you're not ambitious, what happens to your performance? If your performance is poor, it directly affects the performance of the business in one way or another. So a company will look for someone who has integrity, respect, ambitious, curious. You want to learn, like, okay, what is happening? Okay, you want to benchmark from other organizations that operate like your organization. These are things that we should think about. Now, measuring what matters. What do you guys measure? What is your KPI in your company in terms of leading indicators and lagging indicators? Do you focus on the lagging indicators, or are you focusing on the leading indicators? If you join a company that does not have indicators at all, what can you do? What are the indicators that each and every one of us here will put in place to start from somewhere? Note that nobody is going to come and build it for you. You have to take the bull by the horn and start. And if you're unable to start, then the business would directly replace you. That's why in the safety profession, if you are good, you are good. If you're not good, you cannot hide. Everyone will discover you. And the last thing is the roadmap. There are so many people here who have the money, but they don't have the right pattern. There are so many people here who don't have the money, but they had the right road and it took them to the top. Whenever you as a professional, you are growing in your career, don't rely on what Frank has done, Linjo has done, Samuel has done, Akufo has done, Laurencia has done. Now sit and ask yourself, I got my job in oil and gas. I love oil and gas. I want to specialize in oil and gas. What are the courses in oil and gas that I can take? That's what you should ask yourself. Not that, oh, Linjo did masters. Let me do masters. Oh, Frank did masters. Now you're following the crowd. And when you follow the crowd, all of you will be there. 1,000 of you will be applying for a job. But remember, out of 1,000, one person who was able to understand, who strategized rightly, who positioned him or herself rightly, will get that job while 1,000 of you are fighting because you invested money wrongly. So don't follow people's roadmaps. Develop your own roadmap. Understand what is required and grow. That's what will make you stand out. Now, let's look at the next slide, okay? I'm going to take you back to our parents' days. In 1988, let's look at what happened. 167 people lost their life in Piper Alpha. Now, when they were doing an investigation, let's hear what they had to say. The inquiry blamed not a single faulty valve, but a way of working permits handled loosely. So there was no control of working permits. But in our generation today, you guys, each and every one of us, we have AIs. There are so many AI system or automated systems that most companies are actually integrating in their management systems to make the work structured. But in those days, imagine 167 people who died at work at a single event. Just imagine, like, you sit at home and you see 167 people leave their homes to go to work and they don't return back because people don't care about permits. They don't care. Okay, communications, no, you tell them, I'm going to give you a warning letter. Who cares? Okay, that's fine. I'll sign the warning letter. You all have to think about this. This is what happened previously. And now, what are the root causes of such incidents? They'll say normalizations of deviance. Why? Why does that happen? Because when you're already doing wrong things and people just take it like, oh, it's a norm, we can do it. Besides, nobody cares. That's what happens. When you join a company and you see that people don't care about safety and you are very proactive, you are like, oh, out of 60 people, I'm the only one that cares about safety. They might terminate me. No, that's the wrong approach. Now you have to reinvent the wheel. You have to change the way they think. But how do you change the way they think? Strategy. And that's why we are here to learn. Because you might have the right answer, you might have the right approach, but now it is how do you deliver that approach so that they can receive that approach, understand that approach, and implement that approach in their day-to-day life. When you go to a company, let's take for example, we are Christian, some of us are Christians, some of us are Muslims. Let's say I've been a Christian all my life, and you come now to me and tell me, Frank, what you believe in does not exist. I want to start telling you about, Allah. I want you to become a Muslim. It's going to take me a long time to process what you're saying because from birth, I've been trained, I've been baptized, I've been trained that this is what I should believe in. So when you see construction workers, especially the older workers, they don't follow safety, it's not because they don't like you. It's because for like 30 years, they have been working with the wrong process. It's like you're eating with the right hand and someone comes to your life after 15 years and tell you start using the left because the right hand is not good. So it takes time for people to process information. So now it depends on how you work, you as a safety professional. How do you put that information? How do you make those people love you to follow up what you do? That is why we are here. And that is why we're here to study. And now there is something we call the procedure and the reality gap. So many companies have standard documents in place, but how were those documents created? Like when I go for audit, I audit companies on their ISO management systems. I ask you, how did you come about with this system? It's amazing, but what I see is not what is replicated here in your system. You have standard procedures, but the workers are not following. In this case, what can you tell me? Did you consult the workers before you have this procedure? Now you have this procedure. Can I see how you communicate these procedures to the worker? Can you choose any worker among these 5 workers here? Let me ask them. If something goes wrong, what is your reporting procedure to see if they understand? And based on that, I start identifying gaps. Now, this is just to help you and make you understand that when it comes to health and safety, we should be proactive. We shouldn't slack. And when you get a job, you shouldn't stop. You should keep going on daily basis. Now I'm going to take you to the third slide. If you are with me, just put a thumbs up so that I know that you're not sleeping. I'm putting in a lot of knowledge here. If you have not eaten, don't worry, you're not going to collapse today. I'm here with you. I'm giving you safety food. This is the best food that you can have before you go to bed today. Don't worry, I'll get you a question Isao later, okay? Fantastic. This is the best food that you can eat. Don't worry about food. Now, there are 2 types of companies. There are companies that focus on compliance. And what is compliance? Okay. Now I'm driving on the road. I know that there are cameras at certain places. So I speed up. When I'm getting close to the camera, I become a humble driver. And when I pass the camera, I know that I'm 2 meters away. I take off. I go to the next camera, I slow down. But guess what? Along the way, maybe the police or the authorities are hiding somewhere and they are there with their cameras, with the radar systems. I don't see them. And they give us fines. At the end, you come home and you're like, oh my God, I saved 10 minutes. Yes. As you put your hand, yes, you see 1,000 dirhams entering. And that hand now is like a lock of wood. They tell you, put that hand down. You cannot put it down because you know that your hard-earned salary, you need to give it to the authorities. As you're saying yes, the authority is saying yes to your money. As you're saving 10 minutes, they are popping your 1,000 dirhams there in their office. So guys, we need not to be compliance based, but we need to develop a culture of excellence. And why do I say so? So many, this is the example I've given you guys, it's linked to what so many organizations are doing or so many professionals. When you see your manager around, you see they go to the side. Hey, where is your permit to work? When the manager is out, they go and hide. Some of them will say, oh, workers are under the sun. Let me tell you, when the workers are under the sun, you're in construction. You're not different from those workers. As they get that sun, you need to get that sun as well. You need to ensure that they are safe because that's the nature of your job. The job came with a package. You accepted it, so you have to be there for the good times and the bad times. So when you sit in the office and sleep, and tomorrow you hear boom on the side with no documents in place, that time you would dance Michael Jackson even more than Michael Jackson, you know. They will tell you, how are you? And you're there shaking because you know that it's done for you. So sometimes we need to be focused. And when we talk about compliance, what do we say? Many people are just driven by rules and audits. Let's say, yeah, a lot in the UAE, right? The government says that I don't want to see anybody here, everybody stays home. But if the government does not say it, guess what? People will put headphones on their ears. They are bouncing on the road, doing all sort of wrong things. But now we are here to tell you that when you build a culture of excellence, you should be driven by shared values. Now, if I'm doing this, how does it impact another person? And when you know that if it does not impact you, but it's impacting another person or the society, don't do it. Now, reporting met with curiosity. If you see something that is wrong, you can ask questions. You can go up to your manager, you can go up to your leaders and say, "Oh, I just want to understand what is happening here." Now, that's what we talk about excellence, because before you call out a situation, understand what goes wrong. You should be able to predict the future. Like, if you don't do this, I'm scared. This is what can happen to us. And that's where they see the difference between, oh, this guy is good, this guy, no, you know what, he's there for the consultant. Most of us will say that if you don't do this, a consultant will give us an NCR. If you don't do this, the consultant will give us an SOR. Are you there for the consultant, or are you there to do your job? And now, when we look at excellence, safety is owned by everyone. Everyone should be responsible and accountable for safety. Not the safety department, not the projects department, but each and everyone. Once you enter a project site, once you enter your workplace in the morning, your safety belongs to you. You need to own it. That's a very good point. Now, when you make errors, you make mistakes. Mistakes are normal. But now, how do you accept your mistakes? Do you try to push it away, especially when you are wrong? That is one thing we should ask ourselves. So, when you make mistakes, you should be able to accept your mistakes and work on those mistakes. That's what we talk about, accepting feedback. And you should be able to give feedback to someone. Like, let's say Daniel does something wrong. Mr. Frank comes and say, Daniel, that's so stupid of you. I don't expect somebody from at your level to do this nonsense. I'm so disappointed at you. I will demoralize Daniel. I will not help him. But if Daniel does something wrong, I'm like, Daniel, fantastic. I know that you made a mistake, but you were trying. This is what you have to do. But next time when you're doing this, try to think out of the box. Look 360 and see, okay, if I'm doing this, what could be the impact? My God. Please, I don't know who is this. Anyways, the music was good.
Join.
That's
She
it.
just
You know,
joined.
I was furious, and then after 2 minutes, I just wanted to start dancing. Because that music was amazing. I will not lie to you, but please don't distract me, because you have taken my brain now somewhere else. But anyways, when we look at compliance-based safety, errors means punishment. If you have made a mistake, we must punish you. You must receive a fine. You must receive a warning letter. Now look at it. When you give that warning letter, how does it affect the person? Yes, Janet, we will come to each and every one of you. Just be patient at the end of the session so we can discuss. Now we talk about owned by the safety department. Oh, no, no, no. Safety department had to look at this. It is not our mistake. It belongs to the safety team. That is a compliance-based safety approach, which is very wrong. We should not always think about that. And now you measure using the past. Oh, in the past, this is what the safety team used to do. This department now, you guys, I don't know where you guys are coming from. You guys are not good at all. Who hired you here? Hey, in fact, I don't even know. These guys are not good at all. So that's what we talk about, compliance based and having a culture of excellence. You can see the difference even from their colors. You can see it. So it's all up to you what you choose to do, and we are giving it to you so you understand. And when you go back to your company, now you look at it. Before I hand over to Linjo, I want to touch base on a very good point. We talk about the safety culture ladder. And when you go back before you sleep, you look at your company and ask yourself, pathological, why waste time on safety? That's why some people are like, why should I buy this? Some companies are like, we just hired you because the contractor needs you. If not, you'll not even be here. So don't disturb. You're taking your salary, stay quiet. Subcontractors, majority of them fall in step one. Now, when we talk about step two, reactive, when an accident happened, okay, now what do we need? Safety department, call the safety department, ask everything they need. We are going to fix it. That's what we talk about step two. Step three, you're calculative. Systems and metrics are managed properly. You're able to identify hazards and work. Okay, that's good, but is that the best? Do you rely only on your system and your metrics? Now, what is it that you can do better? So step three is like, a 50 on 50. You put something on the scale and you're balancing it up on the other side. Okay, we are good, but can we do better? Of course, yes. Step four is when you're proactive. Oh, something can happen tomorrow. You know what, Janet? Let's go and do a briefing to the workers. Let's do a toolbox talk. Let's make sure that the workers understand the inherent hazards. Now, step five. is interdependent. Now, what do you mean by this? Safety is owned by everyone in the business. Like Frank is coming in, Frank knows that, oh, in the company we have waste segregation. This is plastic waste, this is can waste, this is paper waste. So I know that I have to do that. I know that if something is going wrong in the company, if I cannot manage it, I have to report to the admin department. I don't wait for someone to tell me that, oh, Frank, there's something wrong. I just do it. So we need to make sure that our company, the companies where we work at, they get to stage 5, and this is how you get your promotions and safety in your departments or in your companies. By the way, if you're able to put in the efforts, if you're able to get the right KPIs, if you're able to talk to your team rightly, get the buy-in from your stakeholders, you definitely move from step 1 right up to step 5. So over to you, Linjo.
Very much, Mr. Frank. You know, while you were speaking, I took myself back to Cameroon in 2022. I was invited to speak in a children's conference, and we were two of us that were speakers. I was the elderly one, and then this lady who was the junior one, let me put it that way. And it happened that she came late while I was speaking already, because the initial plan was that she was to speak first before I do. And when she came, I was speaking already. She wrote a note and sent it to me and told me that she will not be able to speak again because she doesn't know what she will be saying again, given that I have said everything. She considers me as her senior. The same thing with you here. You have said everything. What then should I say? However, what did I tell her? I wrote a note back to her. When I finished speaking, I went to her and I told her, I know you have something unique that you can offer, and come and do it. I believe in what you can do. And she came and she believed in what I told her, and she delivered so amazingly. So thank you very much for those words you have given us already. And our coach make mention of something that I want to add to it. He spoke about the workers. You know, workers are to a company what blood is to the body. Okay, workers are to a company what blood is to the body. Without workers, there is no way the company will function. Without the workers, there is no way the company will make money. Without the workers, there's no way the company will progress. So the way we relate with the workers is the same way blood relate to our body. So the how important blood is to your body is how important the workers are to the company. So we must treat them well if we want to get the results that we are looking for. Safety is not longer about stopping accidents from happening. I think we've gone beyond that. Safety is about understanding the workers. Safety is about understanding uh, that everything should be done with so much intentionality. It's about understanding that behind every helmet, behind every uniform, behind every hand gloves, behind every eyeglasses is a worker with a life. All right. It's a worker with a dream. It's a worker with a family. It's a worker which who is worth protecting. Workers leave their homes every day. They come to work as employees to the employer. They leave their homes, they come to the company, and some they dress very well, they follow every instruction. But we as safety officers, we must understand that these people to their families, they are husbands. All right. Back home, their husbands, back home, their fathers, back home, their children, back home, their uncles, back home, their friends, and so on. So we should treat them accordingly. So we must be able to take ourselves down to their level and make them understand that you are not alone into this. The fact that I am up here as a safety officer, it doesn't mean that I should treat you anyhow. Life is a mystery, and the way you treat everybody, you don't know what happens tomorrow. The laborer you are neglecting today might become a boss. You are boss tomorrow. You might be working for him tomorrow. All right. So we should be able to treat every worker with so much passion, with so much love, and making them understand that together we can do this work. Together we can make this company a better place. Together we can make our lives better. Because tell me, what is the essence of you as a safety officer excelling, progressing, becoming better in the way you look, in the way you dress, in the way you talk, and then that person is down there? It doesn't make sense. The beauty of life is actually visible when you are able to see that this person is advancing in life, this person is smiling, this person is progressing, and you know that you contributed to the person's life. There is a kind of joy that you experience, that you feel when I know that, or when Mr. Frank knows that Nelson is advancing. Nelson has gotten to this level and he contributed to that growth. All right. The joy is something else. But then on the other hand, you feel very guilty and mad at yourself when you see somebody advancing, progressing, becoming better, and you know that you had the opportunity to help the person, but you did not. Not because you don't have what it takes to help the person, but simply because you just neglected the person. You just saw the person as a nobody. So we should be able to treat these people the same way we treat ourselves. It's very important. It's very, very important, and we should take that seriously. The story behind every safety decision matters a lot. Okay, it matters a whole lot. Let me give you one of the things that we should consider. Safety begins when we start seeing people instead of progress or processes, pardon me. All right. When we start seeing people instead of the processes. Many times safety focus on productions. Sometimes safety focuses on policing. All right, like we had a debate. Sometimes some safety officers focus on giving instructions, on giving orders. They focus on compliance and all of that. But a worker is not a member on a report. A worker is not a member on a report. A worker is someone with responsibilities as well. A worker is someone with dreams. I spoke about that. A worker is someone people are also depending on. All right, like I mentioned, he has a family back home that is depending on them. So let's treat them with so much care. When correct and unserved behavior, you are not simply enforcing rules. Okay, you are communicating. And what are you communicating? You are simply telling them your life matters. Your life matters to me as well. I care about how you treat yourself. I care about who you are becoming. Because, when we treat these people anyhow, with no sense of humility, no sense of excellence, what happens is that, like Mr. Frank said, they start taking the safety measures only when we are around. So we should get to the point where we make them understand that we should build them to the point that they can implement the safety measures even without our presence. Mr. Frank make mention of you driving and your speed is very high. My first week in this country, my very first week, no, my first week when I started work, okay, I was going to work. I never knew that you don't have to cross the road anywhere or anyhow. I thought I was in Cameroon where I could just run and cross the road anytime I want. So when I got to this particular place at around Clock Tower,
Alain, I the for me to walk right to where I need to properly cross the road, it was a little bit far. So to me, I thought I could just let me just run and cross. And unfortunately for me, the policemen were the other way. So as I was running, they saw me, and then one of them just send his hand and say, "Come." To me, I thought he wants to ask a question, or he wants to, I don't know what he wanted, but I never knew that he wanted to give me a fine. So when I got to where he was, he asked for my ID card. I was like, "What's happening?" I gave him the ID card, and few seconds later, a message entered my phone, and it was proving that I need to pay fine. Okay, I'm bringing this to make us understand that sometimes we want to take shortcuts that will end us in regret. All right, we should be able to put ourselves together as professionals that we are. Let's be able to do what is supposed to be done. Integrity is very important. All right, avoid taking shortcuts as much as you can. Avoid taking shortcuts as much as you can. The greatest impact of an HSE leader is changing mindset. The greatest impact you can make in the lives of these workers, in the life of the company you find yourself, is changing their mindset. You know, as a man think, so is he. All right, your life as an individual actually moves in the direction of your thoughts, in the direction of your words, and in the direction of your actions. So we must get to the point where we focus on transforming or changing their minds. We must focus on making sure that they reason the way we want them to reason. You see, a worker can have the best safety requirement. A worker can have the best safety policies. A worker can have the best safety procedures. But if the mindset of the people does not change, risk will continue to happen. If the mindset does not change, risk will continue. So, true safety leadership is seen when workers begin to think differently. When workers begin to think differently, when workers become mad, MAD. So, drill your workers to become mad people. What do I mean by becoming mad people? I'm not saying I should now go and coach them to be picking peppers around, even though I've never seen a mad person in UAE. But what I'm saying is drill them, coach them to become mad people in the sense that they should understand that they have to make a difference. Okay, mad here has to do with the M, the A, and the G. Make a difference. All right, as a worker, even without the presence of the manager, without the presence of the health and safety professional, the worker should be able to make a difference even without your presence. This will only happen depending on how you relate with them, how you communicate with them, how you treat them. All right. There is time for everything. There is time to be serious and there is time to play. All right. Don't always be a serious leader or a serious health and safety officer. There is time for everything. You know, it shouldn't be like, back home when your father, if you were opportune that your father had a car as the children, you are sitting in the parlor or in a sitting room, and the moment you hear the horn of your father's car, everybody automatically in the room and you are sleeping. This is simply because there was no proper relationship between the father and the children. And it's the same thing that happens to us between us and the workers. All right, sometimes the workers are just doing whatever they want to do. And when they notice that you are around, that is when they start trying to put things together just to please you. Not because they are taking responsibility of themselves, not because their mindsets have been transformed, but simply because they are doing it to please you. So train them to do things differently. My accident affect others. Make them to understand that if an accident happens because of my negligence, it will affect others. It will only affect me. It will also affect others. My choices can protect someone. Okay, this is a mindset we should cultivate in them. Safety is not about the safety officer's responsibility. Safety belongs to all of us. Safety belongs to the entire company, to the entire team. We must make them understand that we all are here to support each other. So, the greatest achievement you can have as a safety officer it's not only about reducing accidents. The greatest achievement you can have as a safety officer is creating people who value safety, even when no one is watching. That is the greatest achievement you can have as a safety officer. It's not just about preventing accidents, giving toolbox talks and all of that. No, it's about you making them understand that. It's about you creating an awareness. It's about you instilling a particular mindset in them that safety belongs to all of us, and they should be able to take safety measures, put safety measures into place, even when nobody is watching. By so doing, we are cultivating the culture of excellence in our companies. All right, in such a way that even if you are no longer working in that company, these people will still always think about you. I went to my former workplace today, and it gave me joy to understand that I meet some customers to understand you are telling me your presence here is being missed a lot. And they're asking me, when are you coming back? Some thought I went on holidays or on something. All right. This gave me joy to understand that my presence in that place was a blessing to somebody. My presence in that place was impactful to somebody. You know, the little things that we neglect sometimes are the things that people value. So do not neglect the little things you can do to a worker. Do not neglect it. The ripple effect is very important. It might look small to you, but it makes a lot of sense. Let me end by saying this. Some years ago, during the GCE examinations in Cameroon, I had 7,000 francs in my wallet. And I think that was kind of the last money I had that period. And then I have this WhatsApp group, and I will always ask them every year who are those writing exams. And then I think 7 or 8 people indicated that they were writing exams. So I was like, how will I send 1,000 francs to each person? To me, in my mind, it was small. Okay, but I was trying my best to make sure I meet everybody. I encourage everybody. So I took in the initiative and I sent everybody 1,000 francs each. And what shocked me is the fact that one of them told me that same night, was in the night, one of them told me that she was to write in the morning. And guess what? She did not have transportation to go and write her exams that morning. All right. And when I sent the money that night, she was able to go right. And guess what? She's been writing for the past 4 years. She has never made it. But that same year, she made it. And till today, anytime she sees me, she's always grateful for that little 1,000 francs that I gave her. So sometimes the little things we neglect are the things that will bring change to somebody's life. And this is the spirit of excellence, or the culture of excellence I'm talking about. Excellence has nothing to do with perfection. Thank you very much, Safran.
Thank you so much, Linjo. I just want you guys to give a big hand of applause to him. You can see this is a guy that's I've never worn a helmet officially. He's grooming himself, getting the right steps. And you can imagine when he hits the floor as a health and safety officer and he's running, then you know what he's going to bring to the table. So you make me very proud, Linjo. I'm sure that the experience you had, maybe it could compare with what I had when I was 4 years into the game, but I'm so happy and I'm so proud of you. Keep it up. So I think if you all have been following Linjo, there have been a lot to learn. So make your workers to be mad. We are not talking about the mad that you walk on the streets. That's what Linjo said. So if you remember the acronym or the full meaning of the mad, can you put it in the chat box? If you don't know, then Linjo is going to punish us all. It means that we listen with the left ear and it goes out from the right ear. So please put everything in the chat box. So yes, let's wrap it up. I'm going to come with something powerful just to add up to what Linjo has been saying here. I'm waiting to see, guys. Don't disappoint me. The full meaning of mad. Let's see. Oh, fantastic. That's a good one. I was about to say that my guys cannot disappoint me. Linjo, you see? My guys are focused on what we are saying. So, guys, if you remember where we ended, let me bring back your brain, right? We're talking about the ladder. Okay. So when we look at the ladder, we say, yes, you should evaluate your organization and see if you are currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So depending on your company, then you will know where you are, right? So from there, let's move to the next. We talk about this is mostly focused on maturity. Now you're moving from a dependent to an independent, interdependent, let's say so. So when we talk about from dependent, look at yourself when you join a company for the very first time or you join the safety field. You're still dependent on your colleagues. You shadow them, you walk behind them, and you're even scared to even do a toolbox talk because other people are watching you. You know that, oh, this is the first time I'm doing it, which is very normal. Everybody has that for the very first time. But you know, when you've done it once, twice, and they tell you, oh, Linjo, you have to do it, just ask them where, when, let's get it done. But imagine that I'm new, I'm a novice to the field. And the very first day they call me, okay, Frank, you said you have been doing 500 toolbox talk, right? Yes, we have 5,000 workers downstairs. Frank, it's your turn. Can you go? And Frank start asking them, please, do you have a washroom? Do you have water from the fridge? Where is your assembly point? Because I'm looking for a way to escape. There is no way. At that point, they have caught me because I said, yes, I've done 500 toolbox talk. So I put on my suit now. The suit is like 10 pounds on my body. I feel that the weight is too much, whereas it's just that fear. I know that they will discover me now. When Frank goes there, they tell him, speak like the way you speak at home. You see, my name is because you're not confident. So basically, what am I trying to say? When you attend webinars like this, and I give you guys the opportunity to come up, if you have a topic, please come, learn, and speak up. You build that confidence. You build that, how can I even call it? When you get in front of workers, trust me, you're just like, let me make sure they get home safely. It's nothing about fear anymore. It's about value. It's about talking to your brother. It's about talking to your sister. You see 10,000 workers, you see like your brothers and sisters standing in front of you, and you're putting that knowledge to them. That's what I want you all to see when you're standing and you're giving your toolbox talk. When you see those helmets, look at it and imagine if your brother was called James, if your sister was called Rebecca, say there are 10 James here, there are 10 Rebeccas here. I want my brothers to come home. So I need them to go home safely. I need my sisters to go home safely. That's what we are doing. So now let's look at these 4 points that we have here. Reactive, safety by natural instincts. You know, sometimes you might sit and something says, Steve, go and do this. You're like, no, I'll do it later. Can you just do it now? You know, you're procrastinating. Ah, I'm tired. I came back from work. I've been driving for long. Look at the time. Oh, I want to watch a movie. I'll do it tomorrow. And guess what? When you keep procrastinating, your phone just rings and they say, oh, someone is in the hospital because of what you had to sort out. Nobody knows that you had to do that, but deep within you, you knew that, yes, I was responsible and accountable for this. I'm not going to open my mouth to say anything, but you will not sleep, especially if you know that something bad happened to that person because of you. So sometimes we should avoid procrastination. We should follow our instincts. If you think that something could go wrong, please put the control measures in place. It's very important. Avoid being a reactive safety professional and you start being a proactive safety professional. I'm not saying that when a worker greets you in the morning, you start auditing them. Where is your safety pants? Where is your safety helmet? Where is your safety innerwear? Did you bathe today? No, that's not what I'm saying. Even if you see that a worker is not doing all of these things, there are ways that you can communicate. So we should avoid focusing on the reactive part and start being on the proactive part. Now, when we talk about dependent, safety by supervision, I think we all have understood what is this safety, just the term safety by supervision. What do you understand by this? So many people believe in that. So many people do the safety when they know that, oh, this is what I have to do. This person is watching me. The project manager is watching me. So I wear my vest with pride. Oh, I love Prince. Prince is the best because now you blind him. Whenever he's in the office, that's when you're moving around his office, bringing call outs, sending emails. But when he goes on leave, there is nothing. Ah, that guy has gone. It's time for me to enjoy my life. This is not what safety is all about, guys. We need to wake up. A lot of people are two-sided. At this job, you shouldn't be like this. It's very, very important. When we talk about independent, it's very easy. Now we are independent, right? You're in the UAE. Whatever decision you make is up to you. Some of us are in different countries like the UK, you're in the US, everything. If you decide that, okay, I'm not going to go to work today, nobody's going to beat you. You know what will happen to you tomorrow if you don't go to work. If you decide that, oh, I want to sleep on the bed today, the next day you'll be either in prison or you'll be back with your grandparents in the village singing a very beautiful song and you're eating from the fire. And that's the kind of life that you need. Maybe you are hunting. So you know that whatever decision you make today, that's what leads to your future. That's why you are here. Your other friends might be sleeping, but you are here getting knowledge. Why? Because you have a reason. You know what you want tomorrow in the future, which is okay. So basically, when it comes to health and safety, we must be independent. You don't have to wait and say, okay, Frank, do not do it. I will not do it. Linjo, if everybody in your company is doing what is wrong, if you know that that's what is right, you should do it. And now we talk about safety is interdependent. You're working as a team. And when we talk about a team, it's not only a safety department, it talks about the unit. Your company is a unit. Look at it like, okay, if the safety department fails the operations department will not be able to deliver. And if the department cannot deliver, everybody in the company will not have salary because the safety team is a support function. You're there to support them. Like the IT team is there to ensure that connection works, the laptops are working, everything is in place so that operators can do the job. But now, if you guys are not there supporting the projects team, if you're not ensuring that workers are safe, accidents keep happening, they keep suspending the projects for investigation. A project that had to be completed in 6 months will be completed in 3 years. And that's when you will not have salary for 4 months, 5 months. So you need to support your operations team as much as you can. And that's why they're saying safety must be interdependent. Note, you should be independent by yourself, as in Frank, I'm independent. But when it comes to a team, we should be interdependent. The safety team collaborates or works with the accounts department. Accounts work with HR. HR works with the operations. Operation works with this team, compliance. So we have to be interdependent to achieve the set objectives of the company. If you're not interdependent, there is no way. If you say, oh, the safety team will outperform every other department, will always be best, we are not going to care for the other department, the company will fall. And what is the goal of the company? The goal of the company is not that the safety team should shine. The goal of the company is to achieve zero accidents or injuries with respect to ISO 45000 when we look at the health and safety standard. They want to achieve zero accident. They don't want to achieve safety department outstanding. No. So if the safety department is not supporting ops and they cannot achieve that objective, the company is failing. So that's the importance for us to be interdependent. And personally, we should be dependent. Leadership acts as a catalyst. Let's take, for example, Joy goes to work today and her manager comes to the site, like the gentleman we see with the white helmet. Joy, you're doing a fantastic job. I love it. Keep shining. You rock it. Give me high five. Thumbs up. The CEO, you know, ladies, right? Joy will go back and say, oh, I did not even do my makeup today, but the CEO gave me a thumbs up. He gave me an high five. He appreciated what I'm doing. Guess what? The CEO has gone. He just said those two words to Joyce, but now he has made Joy to be morally motivated. She wants to work because she knows that the company is actually appreciating her. Do you know what it means for your CEO to call you by name and appreciate what you're doing? So it's very important. He has about 5,000 workers, but he knows you by name. So when we talk about visible leadership, workers need to see leaders on the side. when you give a task to the worker, make sure that whatever you're telling them to do, you can also do it. So when you go there, you talk to them, you tell them about your story. Like, you see, I've been a cleaner like you. I used to earn 300 dirhams, but look at me today. I earn 1 million dirhams. So you can be me. But I will tell you my strategy, but make sure that you're doing your job well. Workers will want to know that strategy, so they'll work. And you have to align on goals. What do you want to achieve? How do you communicate those objectives to the workers? What are the KPIs that they have to actually measure their performance? I'll give you a very good example. Most of you are on LinkedIn today. You're like, oh, you get up one day, oh, I have 5,000 followers. Wow, that's amazing. That's bullshit. If you are a professional, you want to grow, you have to set targets. I'm at 1,000 followers today. I give myself within the next 1 month, I'm hitting 2,000 followers. When you do that, you'll be very active on LinkedIn. You engage on leaders' posts. You'll be able to post. And when you're posting, guess what? You're planning on hitting 2,000 followers. But at that same time, your CV is being shared to more than 1,000 people. Your profile is going out there. People see what you post and people respect you. Before you know it, there are offers coming at your doors. There are people calling you, telling you, Prince, I'm seeing the good job you're doing. Fantastic. I really want you to join my team. It's very, very important. If we know what we do, you need to show up. You need to set targets. You need to set your KPIs and make sure you hit those KPIs. If you're not hitting your KPI, evaluate yourself and ask yourself, why am I not hitting my KPI? What can I do? If you're looking for a job, sit down, map out yourself 1 month. I'm looking for a job. Where am I? What are my resources? What should I do? Which apps am I using? Now, should I go to bed? When should I get up in the morning? Where should I apply? And if the safety job is not coming, which other job can I get in terms of customer service that can help me to get my visa, can help me to do some savings? I take this 6 months, I do some more safety courses, and then I integrate back into the safety team. Some people will just do 2 years visa and say, if I don't have a safety job, I will not work. Now, after 3 months, you get a company that is very bad. They don't pay salary on time. You don't evaluate them. Guess what? You jump into it. The leadership is not supportive. They are in to make money. You are there. Safety first. All the veins on your neck is popping out like popcorn. There is no salary at the end of the day. There is no time for you to go to bed. At the end, you say, you know what? I hate this thing. I don't know who even told me this. Mr. Frank was lying about this safety. I've been suffering my life. Why? Because you didn't evaluate the company. You just jumped into any company. We must be mindful of what we are doing. We must be focused. We must have a direction. We must be strategic. If you apply for a safety job 1, 2, 3 months, it's not coming. 1 month, you see that you're running out of money. Please update that CV, keep it somewhere, and look for a job that can feed you. So that you shouldn't sell your pieces of land, you shouldn't borrow money from people, you shouldn't go to the bank. Get a job that can feed you. Once that job is there, you keep applying quietly and patiently. The day that a job comes, it comes. A career job takes time, but when it comes, it has come. That is my advice for you. Now, when we talk about psychological safety, and just a culture. What do we talk about? So now you have to make workers feel comfortable to report cases. You have to make workers know that if you're reporting this thing, it's for the good of not only for me, but for you as well. It's for the good of the business. And if the business grow, you grow. You must be able to evaluate the business and find out where are the gaps in the system with respect to ISO 14001. Now, 14001 has been upgraded to 14001 version 2026, and it will be fully implemented by September 2026. And every organization has been given 3 years by ISO, by the management system and the standards, that we have to implement this within our businesses. First things first, have we read the standard? That's how proactive we should be. Have you outlined the difference? Have you outlined the gap in your system? That is the loop. Where are those gaps and how do you close them? Should we wait till 2020? Should we wait to September before we start reading the standards? No, we start reading now. So when you read now, what's the next step? Self-evaluation. Now you can do an internal audit on the system, on your management system. What works well? What does not work well? What do you need to upgrade? What do you need to implement? When implementing them, do you take the buy-in from management? Yes, management has reviewed, given you approval to go ahead, then you can go ahead. By September, when most companies are reading the standards, your system is up and running. And now what do? You're following the PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, act. You must be one step ahead of the system. balanced accountability. A just culture separates honest errors from reckless choice. Now, there are some times that you make mistakes and you should be able to be accountable for it. Don't tell lies. Yes, see, I was trying to do this, but I made this mistake. Yes, I am responsible and I'm accountable for what I've done. So yes, I'm going to face the disciplinary actions. If you get punished because you made a mistake and you were honest about it, that's fine. We are humans. We are prone to make mistakes. Every company has procedures. So don't say, oh, it's because I'm black skin, I'm white skin, I'm green skin, I'm blue skin. That's why I'm being treated this way. No. Did you make a mistake? Yes. What does the company's procedure state? That if you do this, this is there. Is it stipulated? Yes. When you joined this company, was this procedure there? Yes. Was it communicated to you? Yes. Did I make a mistake? Yes. Now tell yourself, what can I do to prevent such mistakes from happening in the future? That's what you should work on. Now, you should also help to drive performance when we talk about psychological safety. If you're mentally fit, if you know that you're in the right work environment, you have the right colleagues around you, you will do the job safely and your performance will improve. Now we are in July. Today is the 1st of July. If I ask each and every one of you on this call, can you rate your performance in any company that you're working in, irrespective of safety or not safety? How do you rate yourself on 100? How do you evaluate yourself? So many people don't do an evaluation. We should always learn to put ourselves down to say, okay, how is my performance? Is it sustainable? Did I drop in anything? And how do you know this? You look at your KPIs. What could be a simple KPI? Now, do you come to work late? Secondly, do you have a lot of tasks that your manager is telling you you're not meeting up to expectation? Thirdly, how do you complete your task? Do you go to site to actually get those observations and write them, or do you just sit behind your computer and formulate anything? Fourthly, how committed are you with respect to your job? Are you actually doing the job or you're just a window shopper? And the fifth point that I always bring to each and every one of you is how passionate about what you do. Because if you're not passionate about what you do, trust me, nothing works. And so many people will say, oh, I'm having a cleaner job. I cannot wait to leave this dirty job. This job is not good. But mind you, that's the job that fits you. That's the job that fits your family. So if you need something big, you need to love what you do and do it from the bottom of your heart because that's what is giving you food now. And that's what it gives you honey. No honey, no money. And no money, rather. No money, no honey. So if the company is giving you £100 and you can survive, love it. And you pray for the next while working hard to achieve what you have and be proud of where you are. Because when you're proud of where you are and you put in the work, definitely you achieve what you need to achieve in the future. And yes, also we look at engagement and emotional connections. Like we are saying, Ninjo came to us, he has used storytelling, he has engaged us, everyone's ears were open about 7,000, how he distributed money. He used real life testimonies to tell you how it helped a lady. You know, she never had money, but he didn't know that that money could help her, thinking that it's too small. So sometimes when we go to the site and we are helping a worker, you just cancel them, you talk to them. You know, a worker might tell you, sir, I want to talk to you. I know that you're busy. Just give them a second. Give them 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes, though. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Listen to them. Sometimes people just need someone, a shoulder to cry on. Be patient. Open up. Tell them, speak up. How can I help you? When they have spoken and you know that they are complete, that they have ended, you're like, are you done? Yes. Have you said everything you have to say? You know what? Start by telling them it's well. It has happened. You are alive. You're strong. I can see you smiling. And I believe that you're going to overcome it. However, you should take it positively. That's how you start counseling the person. And when you do that, the worker feels energized. The next time the worker will come to you and tell you, you know what, thank you, you saved me. And that is what is important in safety. Recognize the right acts. Sometimes, we only focus on data, we focus on numbers. Sometimes you see safety professionals going and say, "Oh, you know what? I have to make the report look nice because I want to celebrate 5 million safety man hours," and they hide the things that the workers are reporting because you want to see them know. But if a worker comes and report a valuable case to you that led to an LTI, recognize them, celebrate them. Even if you're not achieving that 5 million man hours, you are doing what is right. Forget about numbers and look at value. That is what we should be looking at as safety professionals. Measure the felt culture. What do you have? They say look beyond incident counts to engagement and trust. What do you have in place to ensure that your workers are happy? What are you actually looking at to make sure that everybody that comes to work goes home happy? You should set your KPIs. You should be able to measure the culture. You should be able to feel it within you. Like, you know what? When I'm going to the company, there's this aura that I have. I can just feel it when I'm in this place. I just feel the love radiating around me. That's what I see when I get to the future leaders because I see a lot of positivity. And that's what we are. And that's why we are here to keep growing. So it's very important for us to know this. And now, what we can say, which is very common, lagging indicators and leading indicators. Now, the lagging indicators, what have we put behind? It is the rear mirror. You know, when you're driving the car, what you look at, the mirror you look at above your eyeball is what we have, what we call the rear mirror. So now that's your lagging indicator because you're already seeing what has already happened, right? You see the cars coming behind you. But now, what is your leading indicator? Your headlamps, the headlamps of your car. When they shine, you can see the road ahead of you and you keep going. So who prefers the your lagging indicators are very important, So who prefers the rear mirror than the headlamps? Everyone would definitely prefer your headlamps or your headlights. Why? Because when you're moving towards a direction, you need to see. And when you have your leading indicators, it guides you. However, we don't forget about the lagging indicators, but what should we focus on? So I need everybody within the next 2 minutes to put their answers in the chat box. When we talk about lagging and leading indicators, should it be 50-50 or should lagging be 60 and leading be 40 or should leading be 60 and lagging be 40? I've given you three options. In your company as safety professionals, do you prefer that the leading and lagging indicators should be the same? Like you as a safety professional, will you strike a balance between them, like leading 50, lagging 50? Or will you prefer to focus on lagging as in 60 and leading as in 40? Or do you prefer leading as in 60 and lagging as in 40? I think the question is clear. So I want to see your answers in the chat box. Let's go, guys. Prince, I want you to look into those answers. Let's go. Everybody, let's see the answers coming in. Okay, Daniel says leading 40, leading 60, lagging 40. Charles says the same thing. Everyone is saying the same thing. Janet almost gave me high blood. She says lagging 40, leading 60. That's right. That's right. That's right. Leading 100. Ibrahim says 50-50. Ibrahim, 50-50 is not possible. When you have 50-50, it's quite good, but leading is more because when you're leading, you're looking at what can actually save you, like you're being proactive. It helps you to think out of the box. Fantastic. Willin is the most smart guy. He just put 60 on 40. Now he's trying to trick me. I don't know if he means 60 for leading or 60 for lagging, but I would just consider that 60. Ali Day says 80. I could prefer 80-20. That's a very good one as well. I don't know, Ali Day, if this your 80-20 is for 80% lagging and 20% leading, but it's good to see you guys putting in. Fantastic. You guys know this thing more than me. I think you guys should be presenting instead of myself here because the guys are really good. So yes, these are some of the things that we use in tracking our leading indicators. So when we talk about leading indicators, what is it? We look at near miss reporting, safety observations. That's why you see your manager will come and he gets pissed like, Chris, you've been on the site the whole day and you don't have at least 2 or 3 observations. So some companies might demand that you have like 3 observations, but please make it a practice to make sure that as a safety professional, if you're on the site, have observations with you. Training completion. Some companies have training needs analysis. Some companies does not have even a training plan. But if you're a safety professional, make sure that your company should have a training plan. I'm begging you in the name of God is very, very important because when you have a training plan, Now you have scheduled yourself in such a way that whenever high risk activities are coming in, you already have a refresher and your team is ready. We also have audits and inspections, which that's fine. Toolbox talk. We just create awareness before the meeting starts and corrective actions timeliness. There's so many people that say that, okay, this was wrong, I'm going to correct it later. No, in safety, you have to set smart objective, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and within a time bound. So if someone tells you I'm going to do it later, please don't accept. Make sure that it's done as soon as you can do it. Now they say where culture meets the management system. We have always been talking about health and safety culture, positive culture, negative culture. But when we talk about where culture meets the management system, what are the four fundamental points that we should look at? We look at leadership. If the leaders are not committed, then definitely it leads to a negative culture. But if leaders are committed, guess what? Everything works well. When we talk about risk management, we look at the processes, the inputs. We have the input, we look at the processes, and we have the output. Now, if companies don't have proper procedures, proper policies in place, proper plans in place, checklists, forms, guess what happens? Everything will not work well. If risk assessments are not there, they don't have competent people, they don't follow the ISO standards, then those companies are exposed to incidents. Now, when we talk about continuous improvement, how do we improve? We have the management review meetings, we have the internal audits, external audits, inspections. So most of the leading indicators, those are the things that help us. However, lagging indicators help us as well because we can identify trends, maybe in accident trends, maybe in workers turnover. So there are a lot of reasons that we can look at. And now when we talk about implementation, this is a good point. So many people know that, oh, this is the right thing that we have to do. But guess what? Do they do it at all? No, they are not doing it. Why are they not doing it? God, only God knows why they are not doing it. Why? Procrastination. Sometimes we procrastinate, you know what, I'm just going to do it tomorrow. But trust me, that is wrong. I came back from work. Look at this is the shirt I wore to work. I just came directly here because if I lie down on the bed and like, okay, I'm going to get up, maybe I'll get up the next day and you guys will be here. Mr. Frank said we had a meeting. Where is he? But Mr. Frank is already snoring and enjoying his life somewhere. And I get up in the morning, oh my God, I messed it up. Why? Because sometimes when you know what you need, you just need to plan accordingly, which is very vital. Now, the last thing that I'll be leaving each and every one of you with, and that's what myself and Ninja will lead, is please, how do you move up the ladder? Remember, we spoke about the ladder here, the safety culture ladder. And we spoke about point 1 to 5. I'll be sharing this slide deck with each and every one of you. But now, how do you move up the ladder? The first thing is to diagnose the problem. What is the problem that your company already face? Now, the second thing is when you have diagnosed that problem, how do you commit to solving those problems? You understand? How do you commit? By now, you have to go to leaders, talk to them, come up with a corrective plan, come up with actions, onboard all your stakeholders, and now have a progress meeting to see how you guys are achieving those things. And now we talk about you have to open up, psychological safety. We talk about making the work environment conducive. We talk about seeing how we can work together to have an excellent working environment in terms of communications, in terms of interdependence, in terms of independence, in which we have spoken about that as well. We remeasure the KPIs we have. We look at our scorecard, what is going well, how were we performing before. If our metrics was red before and now it's green, it means that we are on the right track. So once we have put all of that, the last point is sustain. How do we sustain these practices? Do we reward the workers? If we are rewarding them, how do we sustain? So it's very, very vital that we know this. So before we open up for questions, and which will wrap it up by 10, my sincere apologies to you all for taking a lot of your time, but I think you guys have learned a lot today. We just want to update you about our trip to Qatar, in which Talk Safety with Frank will be celebrating 1 good year of consistency, of having webinars from, I think from February, the 1st of February, we decided to have weekly webinars and we have been consistent till today. And that has helped me to record more than 100 hours of training. and also for my career professional development. So if you have been with me from February to today, know that you have also had that. So you should put those records in place. However, look at the amazing gentleman and Susie, a quick one. If you have been watching her videos, you know Susie. She's very, very active on TikTok. A lot of people will be like, Mr. Frank, you have a lot of people in Qatar, you have people everywhere. Why do you decide to get these young people? But I'm like, these are the leaders of tomorrow. These are the people that will change the narratives. And that is my focus for the next 5 years, to create a difference globally. So we start with Qatar, we go to South Africa, we go to Ghana, we go to Kenya, we go to Cameroon, and we keep moving because it's a global movement. And one day we are going to sail around the world. That is the plan. And do we just need to move? No, but we are moving with an impact. So you see us having a lot of campaigns, a lot of videos, a lot of lives. So you keep sharing. Those that can come to Qatar is going to be an amazing one. Those that cannot come, then definitely you can join us online. But however, you should motivate people to join this movement because it's going to be good. We have so many topics here. For example, Mr. Geoffrey will be talking about inspiring the future leaders of tomorrow. Mr. Chris will be sharing his HSC journey, which will inspire a lot of aspiring health and safety professionals and also fellow health and safety professionals in the field. And Susie will be talking about the challenges women face in safety and how to overcome them. She's a serious lady as well. So many women are giving up because, oh, I've been applying, I don't have a job. But be consistent. It takes time, yes, but when it comes, it has come. And yes, we have our humble Charles. Charles is our coordinator to make sure that everything goes well. And yes, I'll be traveling to Qatar by, I think, the 30th of July to be there for like 2 nights, spend time with my people. Friday is the main event, and this is the agenda that we have. You'll be seeing it everywhere. We share with the future leaders. So from 12 to 1 is just the meet and greet. We have pictures at the backdrop with our Talk Safety with Frank t-shirts. And after that, you can dress very formally to come. So from 1 to 1:45, we just have the introduction, why we started this Talk Safety with Frank. What is our goal? What is our vision? What has been our achievements for the past 1 year? And where do we expect to see ourselves? Then we have the presentation from Geoffrey. After Geoffrey, we have a 15 minutes quick break to recharge and recap. Then once Susie comes in powerfully, we know that after listening to three great giants, we need to go and top up the tank. So we go for our lunch break for a period of an hour, 50 minutes approximately. Then we have Chris coming in to finalize everything by putting the ice on the cake, talking to us about his HSC journey, which is very important. And lastly, we have the closing remark. Yeah, we have a few which is very affordable, just 250 riyals. Yes, I think it's not much. It's very fair because most conferences you pay about 700, 800 dirhams for a day. But this is what we want because we want each and everyone to come. And at least we are targeting future leaders, which means that the early phase health and safety professionals. So please, you should secure your seat. We need just 50 people. The capacity of the hall takes 50. So if you can get your seat, get your seat. You can contact Chris, Geoffrey, Susie, Charles, and they are going to give you all the support that you need on that. So we are going to wrap it up before we give you the chance to come in with your questions to let you know that beyond compliance is where we achieve excellence. Where compliance ends, excellence is the next. And how and what are the benefits of achieving excellence? You have fewer accidents, in which our culture is definitely going to move from maybe the negative side to the positive side. Or if it was at the positive side, we are just going to sustain it. There'll be higher engagement, productivity, and even at the quality of the services of the workers will be good. And also the feedback from the customers will be good, which reduces the claims and is directly linked to ISO 9000, which talks about quality management system. And definitely you build trust, reputations, and license to operate, which is very important. Safety is the floor. Excellence is the culture we build on top of it. So I'll finalize and I'll finish this by reading with you. So I want anyone that wants to read with me so we can read the last phrase together. So this is the time for you to unmute yourself and let's read together. So yes, let's give a couple of seconds for everyone to unmute. Very good. So I can hear you guys now. So let's do it as we do it in primary schools. So when we say 3, 2, 1, then we can read together. Okay. So are we ready? Okay, guys, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Safety is the
It
soul.
is the
Growth
soul.
depends also
Depends
on
on
you on
you
top.
on top of it.
Fantastic. So guys, uh, it's like I have a serious marketplace going on. When I unmuted everybody, I heard blah, 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 blah. Guys, were you waiting? I have a serious marketplace here. If you're selling coconut, come and sell to me now. I'm done with my presentation. I'm ready to buy your coconut. If you're not selling coconut, please, I don't want noise. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your precious time. So every Wednesday we are here. On Saturdays, I do train my future leaders. So moving forward, this is what you get to see. Maybe next week is going to be Akufo. After that, it's going to be Samuel. So the future leaders will be the ones pushing, and that's how we keep growing. So it's a pleasure having each and every one. If you have a question, do ask. But before I go, or before I stay mute, I'm going to give the floor to my big boss, Mr. Linjo, to say a word, and then we can take your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Frank. Everybody, if you are not a stingy or a selfish person, can you give those emojis to Mr. Frank as many as you can? Give them up. He's having about 3 kids and need them as well. Come on, push them up. They are free of charge. Push them up, push them up, push them up. Thank you very much once again, Mr. Frank. It was a pleasure sharing this platform with you. And indeed, it's been a time where we've been learning, we've been unlearning, we've been relearning. And the end result will be that we're going to upgrade and become better versions of ourselves. And I want to give us this charge as well. You know, your work protects the dreams that are yet to be fulfilled and futures that are still being written. Some of these workers are just there because they want to transition to a better future. So your job is to protect them. Your job is to inspire them, be an inspiration to their aspirations so that they can get to the top as well as you have gotten to the top. A culture of excellence is built on people taking ownership. A culture of excellence is built on people embracing growth. A future of excellence is for those who choose to be mad, is for those who choose to make a difference. If you want to be excellent, then you should choose daily to become a mad person. If you want to be a normal person, there is no way you are going to make a difference. So you must intentionally become a mad person to be a blessing to people around you, to your company, to your workers, and everybody you meet in your day-to-day life. And it's been a good time on this webinar. And of course, we are meeting again next Wednesday powerfully. And to our brothers and sisters who have not yet joined the future leaders, you are missing a lot. Just like Mr. Frank said, we meet on Saturdays and sometimes on Mondays, and a lot is always poured out. So you are encouraged to transition to the future leaders where we are a big family and we are growing together. Intentionality is the key word. If you want to grow, you must invest in yourself. Once again, Mr. Frank, thank you very much for having me. And to everybody who has been part of this meeting, thank you very much. It should be noted that the difference between you and somebody who did not attend this session is the action you will take after this. So don't just be hearers, but be doers of what you are gaining from here. And by so doing, that's how change will definitely come. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Linjo, and also thank you for making out the time for us to get this presentation through with our members. We are going to run a poll in all groups, so please feel free to put your honest feedback. We are always open for improvement. If you think there's anything that you want us to improve on, that's fine. We are ready to be here to learn from you and to become better in everything we do. So we have 7 minutes at exactly 10 p.m. because you guys need to rest. Then we can continue with the questions in the group and we can pick it up from there. So I'll be calling Arnold Linui to please proceed. And after that, we do have Derek. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and good evening, Mr. Frank.
Good evening, brother.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about the account details you said you are gonna send 2 days ago. Actually, we haven't got it, and our subscription is over. I want to renew it and be done with it. So, when is that ready?
Okay. I think you missed it out because we dropped the official company's account today in the group, and a lot of members are already doing their renewals using it. So if you just check in the Future Leaders group, the message is pinned, so you can utilize that.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much, Arnold. Yes, Derek, and then Derek, we have Daniel. Derek, I think you're muted, so we cannot hear you. Okay, since we have some issues with Derek, then maybe we just proceed with Daniel for the interest of time.
Hi guys, thank you for this great opportunity. You guys actually dealt with the going beyond safety in terms of excellent culture. But I just want to, there's this, will I say the scenario that happened in one of the group, whereby